Well, that's the thing is every time I try to switch it to the correct microphone, it just goes back to the MacBook Pro.
That's fine. Leave it on the MacBook Pro. You sound fine. It's not going to be professional, but it's okay. Whatever. You know.
Well, you should be professional. You don't want to start a trend now, do you?
Oh, it's going to be
professional, like 13 months between episodes. Minor League Nerd collab on the minor league episode. That was great.
No, thanks. Like I said, I had to beg and plead him to do it because he's so shy and so quiet. He just didn't feel up for it, but I was glad he finally agreed to doing it.
I felt very awkward doing it. I'm not gonna lie, it was very awkward doing this,
especially saying Skeeters.
I know. I was having so much fun with it. I was enjoying that one.
It came through.
So it was cool. I had a lot of fun doing something different than my usual, like the podcast and stuff. You know what I mean? So it was pretty cool. I enjoy that.
Yeah,
it's fun listening to it now. I usually watch them, but like since I'm on the road all the time now, I get to listen to the podcast just like a certain somebody.
Right. That certain somebody is actually one of the main reasons I finally ended up doing the podcast version. So
that is true. That is true. Because somebody doesn't. I don't watch YouTube. YouTube is for the young kids.
I can't run to YouTube.
It's true.
Actually, you can now because they have podcasts now.
I've got my Market Garden Cleveland cup here.
That's a nice little mug.
Nice. I like it.
I picked up a good beer this weekend, guys. I gotta try it. It is. Right. I took a picture of it. It's called. It's from Friends and Beer out of Charlotte. It is a passion fruit orange guava sour ale.
Do they sell that beer in men's beer?
No.
I was just about to say that's something that Christina would probably.
It comes
really
with
enjoy.
a skirt.
What?
Bunch of jerks. Paul is all over the place tonight.
He's Mr. Popular.
He is. He muted us. He's reading his own text message. You muted us. You got your microphone is your phone. I've been trying to tell you this.
But I switched it.
Now it's
apparently
switched.
Not.
Oh, is it? It's now it's switched.
It sounds like it. You sound different.
Yeah, you sound different because
my phone was in my pocket.
Yeah, and we could hear it shuffling in your pocket.
I thought I had fixed it. I thought I had set the audio.
No, you kept hearing this shuffling sound and like you rubbing against the microphone. I was trying to figure out where's his microphone if he keeps rubbing against it.
We're a bunch of professionals around here.
Is it sounding different now? It's not allowing me to choose.
No, you sound fine now.
All right, are you on what
it says I'm on the MacBook Pro microphone. I want to be on the Audio Pro
hold
X5.
On a second. Time out.
All right.
Time out, Sunshine. Time out.
All right.
Listen here, Sunshine. Are you on Google Chrome?
Yeah.
Okay, so you gotta allow the microphone on Google Chrome. That's the problem.
Yeah, I had to click to allow my microphone and camera to be used.
Exactly. Sorry, we'll just take your time. We're here. Don't worry about it. We're only supposed to be doing the Brockmire podcast, season 1, episode 4.
Accessibility. I mean, it sounds like it's coming in through this microphone. Do I sound super close to the microphone right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's doing.
If you go on your settings on StreamYard, you can check if if you're using the microphone.
Well, that's the thing is every time I try to switch it to the correct microphone, it just goes back to the MacBook Pro.
That's fine. Leave it on the MacBook Pro. You sound fine. It's not going to be professional, but it's okay. Whatever.
Well, you should be professional. You don't want to start a trend now, do you?
Oh, it's going to be
professional, like 13 months between episodes.
No one will ever know because we just re-released them all, and it's going to be every other week. So there you go, Paul.
Microphone. Yeah, my system settings say that I'm through the Audio Pro X5 mic. I think I'm good.
All right, let's go. Are we ready to go?
Yeah.
Do you want to start it? Do you want me to start it?
Is Ed going to do that thing where he like drops in like us talking beforehand and it's all hilarious?
Absolutely.
Like, look
I've
at
been
me,
recording this whole time.
And Ed's like, ha ha ha. The world will hear this.
Revenge, mother trucker.
All right, everyone. How we doing, guys?
Hey, we're good.
Ed, guess what? It's season 1, episode 4 of Brockmire. This was a good one. I got to admit, it was a little it landed with me on a very personal level. So we'll get into that. But before we do, I'm Paul Caputo, host of the Baseball by Design podcast. So happy to be here. Ed, Kelly, how are you guys doing?
Oh, hello.
I'm doing good. Happy to be here, fellas.
This is where you introduce yourselves. Say where you're from.
I apologize. I'm sorry. My name is Ed, also known as the Dad Hat, host of the Dad Hat Chronicles podcast and Dad Hat Chronicles sports show, Tuesday and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
I'm Kelly, also known as the Minor League Nerd. I do the Minor League Nerd YouTube and podcast.
This is by the way, it's amazing.
It is fantastic. So much great history. And plus the Dad Hat Chronicles, so good with your co-host Val, the Stadium Food Girl. So
That's
good.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, she's teaching all of us how to use Instagram.
I know.
So that's a good thing. Anyways, I digress.
Using it.
To recap where we left off at the end of at the end of episode 3. Here we had Brockmire sitting on the porch with his girlfriend, whose name is
Jules.
I love the pause, by the way.
Brockmire and Jules hanging out on the porch, and who shows up but Brockmire's ex-wife, Susie, and Brockmire just says,
Susie?
Lucy. Sorry, Lucy?
Yeah, right. You do the outro.
Can you tell it's been a year since we've done one of these episodes?
I know, right?
So Lucy, he's surprised to see Lucy show up at Rusty's bar there. And then we're out. And then back in season 1, episode 4, starts right back where we left off with Lucy is there at the porch. And this is an episode about aggression and acceptance of apologies and an ex-wife not feeling like she needs to apologize. So it's all been I gotta admit,
weird, wasn't it?
Well, you two were both happily married. This is something that was like very, very personal to me to watch this, right? Like, so I gotta admit, it was like this is an awkward show anyway. This was even more awkward.
Awkward.
No, I was very much able to identify with this episode as well.
Okay, good.
Not 100% with what Brockmire went through, but definitely because I'm on number 2 as well.
Oh, you are. Oh, yeah. Congratulations to you, Kelly.
Yeah.
So here we go with that opens up in the fertility clinic. And Brockmire is about to head out on a 3-week road trip. And, of course, here's Lucy eyeing up Ponytail Dude with his short shorts at the fertility clinic while they're trying to get pregnant.
Which, by the way, super short shorts.
Yeah, they were very short shorts.
Which is like, okay, can we not? So.
Yeah.
And he's got the top knot.
That's right.
Well,
that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And so this was, I think, 2000. It was supposed to be 2000s, 2000. And
what?
Yeah. So now, So they've gone through that. They sort of set the stage for that. Everyone, of course, knows what happens. Bring it back to the present day, and there they are at Rusty's bar. And she's basically saying, "I thought you were dead." He says one of his lines. I did laugh a lot at this episode. And he steps away from his rage for like a minute, and he's like, well, I was technically dead for 3 minutes at a brothel in, I forget what country it was that he
Macedonia.
said. Macedonia.
Those girls keep the paddles handy.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, they keep them handy.
They're real pros. Oh my god! He just like to step aside from the rage a little bit, just to deliver that little one-liner and then come back. That was an amazing. That was
his
an amazing
ADD
line.
Kicked in there for a second.
Well, actually, he just couldn't resist this like weird little tangent.
As a matter of fact, I was actually kind of dead.
Can we recreate when he was trying to prove that he had friends and that he had a life? That he was
Smitty.
Smitty.
And my favorite, two legs over there.
Two legs over there. There he is.
And of course, my girl Amanda P. Jules, just like sitting there, like all awkward. It's like, ugh.
I have to say, she plays looking drunk really, really well.
Yes,
she really does.
She nails it.
But her, like, when they go back inside the bar, like after Lucy has left, and they go back inside the bar, and she's just like, the way she's saying, like, so just like understated, just like I think it's possible you're in a little bit of denial, right? Like,
her bartender calls her out too, though.
Yeah.
No, you went and back, and you just cried a lot, and then your drinking just like went next level.
I did. I think I skipped ahead of one of the crasser jokes, but definitely one that made me laugh when she's trying to invite Brockmire, when Lucy's trying to invite Brockmire to really unload on her.
Yeah.
And she says, wouldn't be the first time that happened today.
If you didn't go back, I was definitely going to take it.
Okay, good.
Joke,
good.
Because I love that joke.
The awkward laugh from her, like,
yeah. I could see we're not ready to joke about.
We're not there.
His response to that, though, at one point he says it's not like you turned me into an incandescent ball of hatred.
You gotta admit, throughout the season so far, of all 4 episodes, the man has a way with words.
Oh my god!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right.
He does.
Like, I mean, he cannot turn it off. He can't turn it off. Like it's just, it bleeds into his normal day life. The fact that he's a play-by-play person.
Well, and it's just all born of just like utter hatred, right? Like, so that's it's definitely,
as he says later, she's his true north.
You are my true story.
My hatred will always find you.
You are my true north.
I do like that brings out the storyline where they sort of turn it back on Jules a little bit, like, hey, you're not so unbroken yourself. And he's like, I was wondering why you were with me.
That's right.
I love his comment about how they're both just trying to outrun God's sniper rifle.
That's a great line, and I'm very glad that you wrote that down, because I heard it and I didn't get to it quick enough to actually write it down. And it's you always hear the when you're talking to someone sort of going through turmoil, and it's like, oh, when you see a storm coming, you'll get through it faster if you run through it rather than trying to run away from it. And this, like, trying to outrun God's sniper rifle was sort of a different version of that old truism there. So
yeah.
Lots of drinking.
Oh yeah,
like,
weird.
Early on, like from the very beginning of this episode, you're like, I mean, it is granted, yes, Brockmire, heavy drinking, heavy drugs, but it's like, nope, I need more, and I need you to give me the top stuff, the best stuff, because this is not good tonight.
Just
is
leave
not
that bottle here. I'll just keep it right next to me.
Because she's trying to snatch it away from me. He's like, no, this is mine tonight. We're drinking all of this.
But I do love when why are you, ask Jules, why are you with me? Because I'm slumming.
That's perfect. But I don't know, like, as always, I think that the funniest moments in the show are at the ballpark when he's broadcasting. And so it's no different in this episode. They're playing the Butler Barons. from Butler, Pennsylvania, which, by the way, I looked up is a real place. This is my home state of Pennsylvania here, and Butler, Pennsylvania is a real place. The Butler Barons are not a real team, but
it should be.
Yeah, right.
It should be like at least like a like a Sunday league kind of name.
Yeah. Right. Should be now. They should wear the same uniforms. But they've just a funny little snippet that the Barons had lost 15 games in a row to the Frackers at this point. So it's like you don't hear about the Frackers winning much, but they apparently have the Barons number.
I'm watching it, and you can tell like he's ready to just like unload on the whole like ball game. Which, by the way,
it's because he didn't unload on Lucy, so he has to.
True story. There it is. Right. Oh, good one. That's good.
Oh man.
But all I can think about is that guy with the jean shorts and wearing the cup.
I got that. I couldn't not look because every time it's like, what the hell is going on?
Like, what in the actual fudgesicles are you wearing?
So, in case anyone is listening and who is not watching along with us or hasn't actually seen this episode, I guess Brockmire decides that he's going to channel his anger into inciting a riot between the two teams. And their fan bases. I guess there's not that many Butler Barons fans at this game, at least not yet. Anyway,
first game.
At the first game, yeah, in their set, and he decides he's going to try to incite anger and just stir something up, just to redirect his own ill will towards the world, and so he starts talking about how the people from Butler think they're so superior to the Frackers maybe it's because they have less sulfur in their water and they're driving around in their Chevy Impalas, dining out at their nicer Applebee's. They act like they're so superior.
They have an air of superiority, like they're some sort of master race. Where have I heard that before?
No, that has never been said ever in the history of anything, anyways.
And then there's the little dribbler. What's the name of the player who hits the little dribbler? The old Mexican guy.
Oh, I have the thing playing, and then I just saw the dude get up with the cup. I'm sorry. I just got distracted because this thing just started.
Yeah.
Those cut off shorts are just.
I know.
Are they even shorts at that point?
They're not. They're not.
But Brockmire says not since. There's a collision at first base on a little dribbler. Correct. And Brockmire says, not since Pearl Harbor has America seen such unprovoked aggression.
That's Pedro Uribe.
Pedro Uribe. Thank you, Kelly. Thank God you're here.
We needed you for this. Because if it was up to me, not happening.
First they take our women's college. Then they poison our children. Probably.
And when your grandfathers were on the picket line, it was the people from Butler who were scabs and took all the jobs. Jim, that didn't happen. Shut up. It sounds true.
It sounds true. This actually, you know what? Sounds a little bit like, without trying to get overly political here, sounds a little bit like a certain contemporary politician, actually.
Ooh,
shut up. It sounds
contemporary. I like that. That's pretty good.
Certain amount of hyperbole and untruth out there. Yeah, exactly. So
let's just listen to some music now, please.
As long as it makes the story sound good. Who cares?
Exactly.
It sounds true to me.
And then the riot is started. The brawl is started when the Japanese pitcher, who Brockmire is not sure if he's even understanding what's being said, beans the player of the Butler Barons there, and
he knows what to say. Say
Yoshi Takatsu.
Say it.
Oh, you got that one at the ready there, Ed. Good job.
Yeah, I was good. Thank you. I feel pretty proud of myself on this one now.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
I couldn't get my own, Hispanic dude, but I got the Asian guy.
I love the guy who runs by when they're attending the second game, who runs down the steps. I'm gonna kill somebody, and it's gonna be awesome.
Was that the same scene? Was it the second game or the first game where Lucy was there?
It's the second game.
That was the second game.
It was the same scene that Brockmire is walking up with Jules, and then that guy runs by, and then Lucy and her gang of sexual deviants,
her cadre of sexual weirdos.
Yeah, they walk by because Jules gave them tickets,
free tickets. They're like just
awesome.
Like here. And I love how Charles is like asking us like, did you do this? You know, I was like, that's 2 questions, and she goes, yes.
During the brawl, by the way, he yells, sweet, sweet justice has finally come to Morristown.
I didn't catch it until the last time I watched. It was actually a cop out there beating Butler players as well.
Was it a cop? I wasn't sure if it was a cop or an umpire.
It looked like a cop because he had a billy club.
That's right. He had a billy club.
And he's beating a Butler player on the back of the head.
Oh, my God. That's funny. That is funny. Yeah,
You're right. You're right. I'm watching it right now. He is literally beating him with a billy club.
Oh, my God.
But I have to say,
see that.
I missed it like 5 times and caught it this last time. But I have to say, I appreciate his story about the being in Butler and the guys just on the street corner just beating a dog.
I guess, why was he doing that? I guess that's just the kind of town Butler is.
And a mother and her child are just standing there, just watching it. But he takes it to a new level when he goes in. And then I went in the gas station and they had the take a penny, leave a penny. And that's just leading to communism. The what is it? The red cloud coming in from Butler.
I actually wrote some of this one down. If you think you smell the rot of communism, that is the stench coming from and Butler. I think you added there, the red cloud coming from Butler. Oh my God.
This
stench of communism.
There's so much anger in this episode.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so much anger.
Well, so that actually, it leads us to, if I don't want to jump around too much. Well, I guess I am. It was
that's fine.
The brawl before the game even started. Charles puts a helmet on up in the booth. That was great.
Just goes under the desk. He's just like, he's looking scared and just putting it on slowly and grabs the laptop and just crawls under the desk.
I love Charles's character. I think that character is so funny.
Like he doesn't watch any baseball. Does not know the game at all.
Yeah, and the actor is just nails the whole role.
100%.
He's trying to provoke Brockmire into doing something that'll make a good viral video.
Which, by the way, that actor who played Charles, it is Tyrell Jackson Williams. He did an absolute wonderful job with this this character.
Has he been in anything? You got him up on IMDb there? What's he done since?
Let's see. Party Down 2009, Brockmire 2017, Thunder Force 2021, and Hollywood Stargirl in 2022.
All right, we got to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, let's do it.
That'd be awesome.
That would be pretty sweet.
We should try to get somebody from
Let's get Tyrell.
I'm cool with that.
There you go. So reach out to his people.
Let's do it. Or we should get also Lucy and talk about the Misfit group.
Right. Cadre of sexual weirdos.
Yeah. But it's something that, like it was very under the radar that really nobody we haven't really talked about it, but we probably have. Is when he's at the bar, right? After the brawl, all of the brawls happen and everything. And the guy in the hat, Johnny the Hat, he's like, "Oh, that's my wife, makes fun of me anytime in the shower."
Right, makes fun of my body.
Yeah.
She jumps in the shower just to laugh at my body.
Yeah. Oh my God. It had nothing to do with anything at all.
I couldn't tell if when he gave him a glass, if there was actually anything in it. I couldn't tell if it was empty or if it was full. Because he's like, "This is for me," and gives him a glass and then just walks away.
Right.
And I kept looking. I could not tell if it actually had anything in it.
Oh, that's funny. You know what drives me crazy? This is unrelated to Brockmire, although it might be related to this point. We're rewatching, Ranger Amy and I are rewatching Scrubs right now.
Okay.
And there's a lot of walking around with coffee cups, like to-go coffee cups in that show. And
there is a drink, by the way.
Oh, there is in Brockmire. There is. Okay.
Yes, he did give him a glass with a drink. Yes.
Okay, very good, because you see it on your screen in front of you
now as well.
good.
Yeah.
But they are supposedly drinking coffee from these coffee cups, and it's so clear. You can tell so clearly. And I love the show Scrubs, but this one thing drives me crazy. You can absolutely tell that they're just walking around with empty coffee cups, and like even when they put them down, you can hear like that sort of hollow dink of like a hollow cardboard cup. It's like you can absolutely tell that it's an empty cup. So, drives me a little crazy.
It's like when in the shows, like they put water in the beer bottles,
right?
Yeah,
it's like it doesn't look like beer, bro.
So they're back in the bar.
Yep,
it's after the fact now. After another brawl, and I think it's Brockmire apologizes to Jules about the baseball not happening, about the brawl, and she says, baseball? What baseball? The game was a forfeit. And he's like, yeah, that's what I'm sorry about. And she says, no, those guys, the people who were not ejected were drinking so much beer.
She didn't care. She was like, I'm making money so I can make the payments.
She has 4 trash bags full of cash back at the stadium because they spent so much at 50-cent beer day.
50
so awesome.
Beer day.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, what is this? The Cleveland Indians ball again?
Oh my goodness. Hey, speaking of 50-cent beers, I don't think anyone who was at this wedding is going to listen to this, so I feel like I can say this out loud. I just went to a dry wedding, and we were sitting there. It was the 6 of us at a table. It was Ranger, Amy, and me, and then 2 of my college buddies and their significant others. And we got to the wedding, and like they announced that there were refreshments, including lemonade, iced tea, and water at a certain station. And we're all just like looking at each other like, are you serious? And like, honestly, we could not get out of there fast enough to find a sports bar and watch game 1 of the NLCS.
You want to hear something funny?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. So Darla and I, we had 2 receptions.
Yeah.
Right. Because we got married in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
All right. We had the reception, the wedding in Puerto Rico. My dad married us. We had the reception in Puerto Rico, and then we came back and we had a reception in her hometown of Youngstucky. Okay. And so the reception in Puerto Rico, I did not know this because I didn't do much of the planning there, right? My family took care of this. It was a dry reception.
Whoa. Oh my God.
Bro, you know how mad I was? My dad's a pastor, first of all. Then you know what I mean? So like, I'm like, as soon as we left, we didn't even make it out. I was like, you're stopping somewhere because we need to get some alcohol. You know what I mean? Like, I celebrated my wedding. You know what I mean? So we stopped and yeah, dude. It was.
That's there you go. Well, now we know.
Yeah.
Now
our wedding, we had plenty of alcohol.
There you go.
And it was a nice thing is we got to supply it because when we got married, we got to supply the alcohol.
Yeah.
Nice.
We just couldn't serve it. We had to pay for someone
to come
serve
in.
it.
Yeah.
But, so the funny thing is I have family members who at a party once, and none of them are going to listen to this. So who at a party once were complaining that my sister didn't have any good beer.
Oh no.
Good beer meaning Miller Lite.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. So for our wedding, we bought all the mixers, the alcohol, the beer, everything. And I wanted to make sure my family could have their good beer. So I ended up buying too much Miller Lite. We had like maybe 12 left over after the wedding that a year later, it still hadn't all been drunk. I put it out at every party. Nobody touched it.
Because it's Miller Lite, bro.
That's hilarious.
It's terrible. I tried drinking it like after a night of drinking, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna have one more before bed. It. I couldn't even finish it. I think I end up just dumping it all out.
There's certain beers that you just can't. You know what I mean?
It's
like Natty Ice. Can't do it anymore. I did it in college.
Yeah.
Can't do it anymore.
No, I got messed up on Red Dog once. I had Red Dog once.
Wow.
Wow.
And it messed me up.
We really are showing our age right now. Just
yeah, true. Yeah, we were at this wedding sharing all of our stories of like our worst hangovers. I'm not actually a huge drinker, and so I only have like 2 or 3 times where I was actually like genuinely hungover. But those were doozies when it did happen.
I've never been hungover.
Is that right? Well, good for you. That's because you keep having dry weddings.
No. I've been plastered in my life, but I never hangover.
That's good. Keep that. You stay hydrated.
It's my superpower.
I haven't had a hangover this year.
This year? Okay, there you go. Perfect.
There's a few times I felt hungover, but I wasn't actually drinking. So.
Oh yeah, that's called COVID, I think.
Yeah, actually, or COVID shots.
There's that
COVID
too.
Vaccination.
Oh my god!
So
COVID was last year.
Oh my god!
I had it, but I had super mild. Just like at the end of August.
Yeah, so that I didn't even know I had it.
Yeah, I had a
until I took a test. I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
Oops.
I was like startled when I took the test and I tested positive. I was like, what is this? So anyhow,
what is this itch?
They're back in the bar where there is alcohol, and a bunch of lollygaggers come walking in, a bunch of Morristown hooligans.
I wrote down yahoos.
Yahoos, very good. Very good.
Dale and his yahoos,
knuckle crackers, and they say they come up to Brockmire and tell him, "You made us proud. You made us proud to be from Morristown again."
It's not a good thing either. You know?
Right.
We forgot to mention the drunk, the guy who gave him the drink, said that you made baseball fun again.
You made baseball fun again. That's right. Yeah, because that sets up another line, which is very funny later on here in just a couple minutes.
That's right.
Yeah. So they say, so they're like, okay, come. They're like, come out to our car and you'll come out in the parking lot and we'll show you. And so obviously you can see where this is going, that Brockmire is horrified to learn that they have kidnapped the third base coach from the Butler Barons, and they have him all beat up and handcuffed and bound in the trunk of their car.
They caught him trying to go over the outfield wall.
Right. And this is the come to Jesus moment for Brockmire here. He's like, okay, all of this has gone too far.
What do you want to do with him?
What do you want to do with him? Let him go.
What do you mean? Let him go.
And that sets up the line when he tells them, get him out of the car and let him go. And they say, this is why people think baseball is boring. Such a great line.
So good.
Geez. So that's a very funny scene in the bar there. It's like nothing ever comes of that again in the shows, like in real life, right? Like all of the legal proceedings that would ensue after kidnapping someone like that. But in this instance, it's just like, it's just part of the gag.
Problem is that they let him go, but they still left him with his hands duct taped to the back on his back.
Right.
Like,
right,
I mean, like unreal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. But that's after his come to Jesus moment. He realizes he should probably go confront Lucy with his feelings and express that he is not going to forgive her, and that he expresses explicitly how angry he is. I'm guessing you guys also wrote some stuff down from this. I wrote down, all that I have left for you is hatred, and my hatred will always find you.
True north.
I just wrote down that I think his metaphor about him being a dropped plate is perfect.
Yeah.
That's just great analogy from him.
Yeah, that walking in on her, cheating on him, shattered him, and he would never be put back together. He would never be whole again.
You're never going to find that one piece.
Yeah. And this is where this was, I laugh at this show, but then every once in a while it hits home in a way, and that was one, like, man, I was sitting there like, yeah, I know that feeling.
I think that's what led him the path of, like in the Philippines and Mongolia and all of that.
Macedonia.
Like, Macedonia. I'm sorry, not Mongolia. I apologize.
All those places. No, all those other places too.
Right, exactly. So it's like, like he could, that piece is no longer there. So he's like, it's just like that switch just flipped on him and just off he went.
He's completely broken.
Yep. And then she basically gives a very intentional non-apology. Not going to apologize for who I am. She said, I didn't want to hurt you, and want you to be okay, but I'm not going to apologize. Earlier in the episode, she said, when I found out I was omnisexual, the floodgates opened. And she sort of continues that down here with that, basically, just like, that's who I am, and I'm not going to apologize for it.
The only thing, the only issue that I have with this whole episode is, like, I get it, you don't want to apologize, that's right, but like, at the very least, could you apologize for like breaking up the marriage? You know what I mean?
Like there's the whole question of marriage vows, right? Like, yeah,
right. That was the only thing, which like in the concept of the whole show, it doesn't fit, and I get that.
Yeah.
Right. But obviously, we're breaking it down here, after the fact, years later, and it's like, I would have been like, hey, listen, I'm sorry that our marriage or whatever, but I'm not going to apologize for being omnisexual. And I was like, at that point, you're like, all right, whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So he's still filled with rage. He has not gotten the satisfaction that he was hoping for by expressing his anger to her.
But there's her one little dig that she throws in when she tells him
the slippers,
and not wear his slippers in front of his girlfriend because they make him look like a dink.
They make you look like a dink.
I mean, the fact that you said dink, like, I mean, that's so insulting, and like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you could have used a worse word, but I get that. But like, you look like a dink. I'm like, man.
And it's great the way she paints it like she's trying to help him out, but she's not.
She really
is. No, not at all.
And she still owns him, basically, right? Like, just can crush him with such a line like that.
Yeah, exactly. Which, by the way, and then he gets into a fight with the blow up chicken thing,
the
like
inflatable. What do you call that? It's like
the wacky waving inflatable flailing arm tube man.
Is that? Did you look that up, Kelly? Is that like
no? That's I don't know if it's actually the official name, but that's what it was called in Family Guy.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's funny.
Good job.
Christina loves wacky waving inflatable flailing arm tube men.
They're a lot of fun to watch.
Absolutely loves them. I've got a video of her outside League Park in Cleveland impersonating one.
That is very funny.
Good job.
I'll bet you it looks a lot like Carol in Last Man on Earth impersonating one when she gets stranded. Kelly, you and I share a lot of pop culture taste. Is Last Man on Earth one that you've watched?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Christina absolutely loved that show.
Yeah.
And is still effing pissed off that it got canceled without a conclusion.
Total cliffhanger.
One of my biggest pet peeves is that a show ending without an ending.
Yeah,
that annoys me to no end.
She actually just came home and she's standing in our kitchen in a rage because the show was canceled without an ending.
Oh, it annoys
me right now. She's mad about Last Man on Earth.
Right now.
Oh, Christina, right now. I'm sorry to bring it up. We're talking about the flailing arm doll guys, and there's that one scene where Carol is imitating the flailing arm guy.
Just like that, exactly. Oh my god! By the way, a little bit of trivia. Did you know that? Like, if you look at that fight scene, if we can call it a fight scene, underneath the car, you will see that there is a black and white cat. Just sitting there, startled funny. Because he's fighting the inflatable thing.
I wonder if that was scripted. It
was not.
Oh, very nice. Are you on like Brockmire Apedia or something?
Don't you worry, where I get my sources from.
I know where he got that because I read it myself.
Yeah, you did see. Okay, you see.
I do love.
I bring value to this podcast too, Paul. Okay.
I would love to have like a full set of lyrics to the song that is playing while he's beating the thing up.
So I have what was in the episode.
Okay.
So,
I only have one line.
Yeah,
I have Jesus built America in the clouds, so heaven would have a reason to be proud.
Yes. It starts off, and I drove my Chevy down Main Street on the way to the sky, just so I could high five the big guy. And then there's that line, Jesus built America in the clouds, so heaven has a reason to be proud. Where eagles soar with angels, where freedom rings true, and the Duke, all the glory, and then it cuts off.
Oh,
It's so funny. So someone had to like record that song, right? Like they had like
there has to be a full version.
Right.
Now we got to try to find this.
I want to. I actually Googled the lyrics and I was able to find the lyrics.
Now, is there a soundtrack to Brockmire? And if there is a soundtrack, is it there?
I didn't look that up. I should have looked that up.
It's a great question. And it's not like I'm Googling it while we're talking.
I know, no, but not like we're not doing this at all.
We came prepared.
No,
we
no
most certainly did.
None soundtracks. So, and then, so we after that, it feels like you're wrapping up, but there's one last moment where they're back at the ballpark, and Brockmire is trying to talk everyone down, and he tell them, Morristown and Butler are exactly the same. And I say this as a person who was driving around West Memphis, Arkansas today. So, so I
got it.
But it was, I get a sense that West Memphis, Arkansas has a lot in common with Morristown or Butler, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I've been there as well. And yeah, I don't disagree.
Memphis, very cool.
Yes.
But he's trying to talk everyone down, and he's trying to stop them from fighting over baseball. And he says, baseball is just a diversion that keeps us from pondering our own personal hell.
Wow.
I know, right?
Y'all have the same crappy fast food restaurants, the same empty Main Street lined with boarded up storefronts, the scraped out husks, victims of unbridled capitalism that made a lie out of the American dream.
How good is that? It's amazing. The writing is just incredible.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
The fact that like they took the time to really just come up with like these comments, right? Like, these verses, in the show, it's so good.
Yeah,
I'm still looking for that music. I want you to know, and I'm gonna find it.
Perfect.
I looked on Spotify to see if there was someone made a soundtrack, and there is not. All that comes up was the Brockmire podcast, and then this wonderful podcast.
We got SEO results here.
Nice.
Yeah. And then that's it. That's the episode. It always takes us longer to talk about the episode.
Yeah. Obviously he breaks down. Like they show him finally the video of him breaking. Sorry, I jumped the gun. Yeah, there's Charles telling him about the viral video. I already said it in my head is the problem. The conversation between you and your head doesn't, come on, Paul.
Yep.
No, but that's when, I think you could tell like that the moment that he's told that, Charles tells him, hey, you're famous now, right? Like, it went viral because I recorded this. First of all, he recorded it from under the table.
Yeah.
Because he was scared. But like the fact that he recorded it, and then you can see there Brockmire, like his finally something that I'm famous for that's not me losing my mind. You know what I mean?
Yep.
In Kansas City. I'm trying to look for it now. But I can't.
And that's the first such, and that's where Charles realizes, hey, we're onto something.
Well, I think Jules was onto something already, right? So she's been building him up to this point.
Yeah.
So like if anybody has to take any credit, it should be her. She has been building him up to where he's at now, like the virality of what is
Yeah.
So it's so awesome. I love this show.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm glad that we have Kelly on board now. Kelly, I hope this is a regular thing now.
I hope so too. And I mean, if we don't do it on Mondays and Tuesdays, Christina can join in too.
That'd be great.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I mean, when like we didn't know about the Brockmire character before the series, and when it started airing, 2017,
yeah,
like saw previews for it, and immediately like, oh, we got to watch this, and just completely loved it, and like didn't miss an episode. I agree with you, Paul. You know, the last season's a little but this first season especially, but then the second even more so, and then the third are just fantastic.
The fact that like I still remember to this day when the trailer came out, right? And this was on IFC. Oh God, I remember that channel. Yeah. When it was on IFC, and I'm like, oh my God, baseball, and like, you know, it's like in minor league technically, and I'm like, oh, I have to watch this, you know. And then later on, he puts out a podcast, you know, the Brockmire podcast, you know, and he talks to like some of the other characters that are in it, like Joe Buck was in it, and then these other famous, you know, actors. It was great, man.
Yeah,
I missed the show.
Yeah. And the podcast was really good, right? Like, you had Joe Buck on there.
Yeah, it had some big names.
Yeah, I never actually listened to the podcast.
You should.
Oh, you should check it out. It's
you should check it out.
He's in.
I think it was only one season, was it? But it was good.
It didn't last very long, but it was funny.
It was under the Dan Levitard brand for a while.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then he was let go at ESPN, and then there goes the podcast.
Oh, I didn't know that's why that went away. So, well, Kelly, as you know, we use the line from the show to sign off on the podcast here. And I
did you Google it just now?
Did I Google it just now? I'm not sure, but I was going to say maybe if Kelly would like to sign off with this line, maybe that could be, since this is Kelly's first Brockmire rewatch.
It is
with us.
If I remember it correctly.
You can Google it if you want to, and then this will never happen. We will not be having this conversation recorded at all. Don't you worry.
No, it'll be edited. Like,
whoa, it most certainly will be.
I'll stop there. Lucy, put supper on the table because this ball game is over.
Oh, that's good.
Is that it?
It's very good. I think that's it.
Okay.
I think that's it. I would have said stove instead of or table. So I don't, but I don't know for sure.
Actually, you should probably put supper on the stove because.
Don't worry, it's not like no one is going to be listening to it.
Nobody goes this far in any way.
Right, exactly.
I know. I've got the stats to prove it on my podcast.
We all did. That's the problem. We have way too many stats.
Too many stats. Gentlemen, this has been fun. Looking forward to episode 5.
Definitely enjoyed it.
Episode 5 will be in not next week. All right. It is every other week, guys. So from the time of this recording and then the time it comes out, we will see you guys again in episode 5. So thank you guys for doing this. This is fun.
Thanks for having us.
Let's do it again, huh? If we can schedule it right. That's my fault. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Mr.
Good job, guys.
Mr. Busy over there all the time.
Who's Ed?
Ed, yeah.
Wow, guys. I'm still recording. Hold on a second. Look at me. Stop it insulting me here. Jesus.